Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has shared a heartfelt tribute to wrestling legend Hulk Hogan, acknowledging the major influence Hogan had on his life and career. On social media, The Rock posted vintage footage from their unforgettable showdown at WrestleMania 18 in 2002. Even though The Rock came out victorious that night, he admitted the audience's energy was completely behind Hogan. Their clash is often remembered as one of the most iconic matches in wrestling history, a symbolic moment where The Rock stepped forward as the new face of the sport, following in Hogan's footsteps. In his post, The Rock also reflected on a personal childhood memory with his idol, recalling how he once caught Hogan's famous headband in the crowd at Madison Square Garden, and years later, returned it to him during a heartfelt exchange. The Rock wrote on Instagram, "Rest in peace, Terry Bollea, aka the Immortal Hulk. To millions of little kids, you were a childhood hero, myself included. In 1984, I gave you your Hulkster headband back in the locker room in Madison Square Garden. I was the lucky kid who caught it when you threw it in the crowd. You were wrestling Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff, that night in the main event. You were shocked and so happy after the match because you told me that was your very last headband. And if it weren't for me, you'd have no way of getting that exact one made again. You promised me that you would get more made and give me a Hulkster headband of my own as a thank you gift. A month later in Madison Square Garden, you did just that. You kept your word with a handshake and a thanks, kid. And that meant the world to that little 12-year-old boy, just 17 years later and still a kid at the age of 29 years old. I'm standing in the middle of the ring and facing you, one of my wrestling heroes, in the main event of WrestleMania. The match was to decide who would go down in history as the greatest of all time. When you kick out of my rock-bottom finisher, just listen and feel that crowd go electric. All for you. I've never felt anything like that in my entire wrestling career. It takes two to tango, but that historic crowd reaction was all for you. You may have passed the torch to me that night, but you, my friend, you drew the house, meaning you sold out every arena and stadium across the country in your prime as Hulk Hogan, on your way to becoming the greatest of all time. From deep in my bones, and on behalf of this wild and crazy world of professional wrestling that we love, I say to you now and forever, thank you for the house, brother. Thank you for the house. Rip Terry Bollea, aka Hulk Hogan.